Today we're going to talk about the Lowen Awning and Casement product line. In particular, we're going to use a corner section. We're going to point out some of the things that we at Lowen consider to be unique or interesting with our product line compared to different manufacturers in the industry. First off, this is showing our triple glaze configuration. So triple glaze meaning 3 panes of glass with a 1/2 inch airspace between each of the panes of glass. This 1/2 inch airspace, which we term true triple glazing, is considered the optimal airspace when using argon gas as the fill between the panes of glass. Combining that with low E coatings is what gives you very high efficiencies in your sealed unit. Double glazing uses a thinner sash, triple glazing uses a thicker sash. That's what lets us use full 1/2 inch airspace on our triple pane sealed units. Most of our manufacturers have to reduce this airspace to 3/8. Now, you'll also will see on this detail, we have a small saw curve here. This is called a weeping channel or a venting channel. The whole concept behind that is if you ever were to have any incidental moisture condensation get under the sealed unit, this allows it to wick itself dry because moisture to the sealing components is the worst enemy. So this is a small detail, not very common within the industry, but we've been doing it this way for a very, very long time. You'll also find within this configuration, we use extruded aluminum on our frame cladding as well as on our sash cladding. And our sash cladding is separated from the glass at this point with a closed cell foam tape. What that does, it means moisture cannot get past the cladding under the sealed unit. It also means that it reduces the opportunity for cold to transfer from the aluminum cladding on the outside through the sealed unit to the warm side. So it adds to the thermal efficiency of how we do our glazing. We also have airspace where we keep the sash cladding pulled away from the surface of the wood. So whether it's double glazed or triple glazed, we always do this. And again, it's all a matter of allowing breathable cavities. So if any incidental condensation were to form behind the cladding, it can wick itself or dry itself out. Because we use this extruded aluminum, we do standard stile and rail joinery. Now that's this vertical line. Now stile and rail joinery is a very traditional millwork detail of joinery. And even though this is a metal clad unit, we try very hard to mirror traditional woodwork joinery into our metal clad product. And that's where you'll find that stile and rail joint. So this metal clad unit is also showing our traditional frame cladding. So by traditional, that means the projection from the integral aluminum nail fin, which is not a plastic or a vinyl folding nail fin, but it's integral to the frame cladding, which also makes it a structural component. So it's the distance from the nail fin to the face of the frame cladding, approximately 1 1/8 1/8 1/4 is the standard. But we also do, as an option, a contemporary version, and it would then take this distance from the nail fin to the face of the frame cladding down to 7/8 of an inch. So that's for more contemporary architecture. Still allows you to put exterior sidings and trims around the window and still have a projection. Now, when you go down to a reduced projection from the nail fin to the frame clad, you also have the opportunity for a reduced jamb depth. Rather than a 4 9/16, you reduce it down to a 4-inch, which again is very popular for modern or contemporary architecture. Now this shows you our standard roto gear or traditional operation with a sill cover where your crank and cover mechanism would sit. We also have an option where we do a push-out window. Now our push-out casement has different jamb moldings. That is the primary visible difference on the inside. The operation of the window is you have a multi-point system where you push the window open for operation with a wood frame screen on the interior. Still has all the same modern technologies as every other awning and casement window, same glazing, same weather strip, same frame construction, same metal clad construction, just a more of an old school way of operating with all the modern technologies built into it. What you'll find on every Lowen awning casement operating or fixed sash unit is a black polypropylene liner in the jam rabbit area. This is put here for a couple of different reasons. One is so you don't need to maintain a finish in this area, but more importantly what it is, it gives you a thermal bridge from your frame cladding on the outside to the warmer side of the window. Some of our competitors will run frame metal all the way back to this area, which thermally is very inefficient because now you're allowing that cold line to come closer to the warm side towards the room side, whereas this liner separates that and is not a conducting material. So this will always maintain a warmer temperature at this point than if you ran your frame metal back. And that's 4 sides. You'll also see that we do everything with laminations. So you'll see our SASH, for example, is laminated with multiple pieces of wood. Whether it's triple pane or it's double pane, we do the same principle. It's all laminations. Now, laminations let us do a couple of things. One, it lets us be good stewards of the material that we have to use within our windows and our doors, but also each piece glued up beside each other helps to keep the other one straight. So you'll have minimal opportunities for warping or twisting of any SASH components, unlike some competitors who will use solid piece of material in here. Think of a 2x2 is always going to want to twist and hook like a hockey stick. You eliminate that opportunity because of the laminations. It also lets us put less visibly appealing material buried within the core. So it's not just the SASH, but it's also the frame parts. You can see it's glued up in multiple sections. Sill covers are multiple sections. Now, when you think of laminations and edge glues, important thing to keep in mind that in the closed position, there's no visible finger joints, there's no visible laminations, there's no visible knots on any low-end window or door that we manufacture. In the open position, you may see some finger joints around the edges of the SASH, your operating portion, but you will never see those type of joineries within the interior finish of the window or the door. So that's an important thing to differentiate because not all manufacturers do that. So this one is shown here with a clear coat finish. So that's one of the options that we have here at Lowen is a clear coat in a satin finish. We also do pre-finished or pre-painted interiors. This one is shown using our jet black. So that's a factory pre-painted interior. We also do as a standard an Oxford white. The advantages of that is it's done right in the factory in a controlled environment where you don't have to contend with the job site with the dirt, the taping off, the masking, and it reduces the cost compared to a job site, and also as a saving in a controlled environment lets us get paint in surfaces that are not even visible, so you get good solid coverage. So those are our 2 standard finishes. Jet black, Oxford white. We can do custom stains, we can do custom finishes if that is what is required for any particular job. So that in a nutshell is what we look at on a Lowen clad corner section, all the various details that we think we do differently and uniquely within the industry.